can hear you now. Yay, King, thank you so much. We're live. And I have invited Natasha, so I can hear you. Yes, so Natasha, I have invited you, and it would be great if you can check on your side what you can do to join in. And I continue on with supporting, see if people have questions. Guys, this is just, you know, the joy of being real, the joy of being like, you don't have to be perfect when you want to do something, right? So you just have to be you, and you just have to have the intention to serve. Who cares if it's perfect or not? So thank you for your patience. For those of you who are here, we just logged in again on the new live, and I see people joining from Switzerland, lots of people from there. So thank you, and bonjour la Suisse. Je suis très heureuse que vous soyez là aussi. Okay, so yeah, not important to be perfect, but what is important, guys, is that we go the extra mile to serve people and to offer our light. Really, this is the time where it's all of us. It's our time to play. It's our time to support each other. So in my meditation this morning, I really had a beautiful aha moment, because I realized that, you know, we can focus on all of the chaos out there, but I was realizing how peaceful I am inside. And this is the key for every one of you. It's how to remain centered in the midst of chaos. How can you find that place of joy, that place of life, your life force, that place of life, of joy, of amazing, that's your power, right? So it's that place where you can be in the middle of the hurricane, but you know you're here, you know you're centered. And this is the most important part, to be strong physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So when you get to that phase, the whole world can collapse around you, which really is about, it's what is happening right now. But who are you in the midst of this collapsing? In the midst of everything that is shifting, changing, collapsing, burning, crashing, who are you? And here's the good news, is if you have been taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually, this is your strength. You're like this strong pole, and the wind can go in any directions. You're here. You're strong. You're here. And the more you're there, the more you can beam your light, and the more you can help others. And this is the whole invitation to all of you guys. So yes, it's one thing to say, yeah, you got to be strong physically, emotionally, and spiritually. What do we do to get there? Right? What do we do? How do we do it? In this time, you know, we are so focused on being online, on being connected with cell phones, and being connected on computers, and having tons of things to do, and focused on business and the next million and the next thing and the next that and the next group and the next event and the next project, that we forget to breathe. We forget to breathe. So I really want to invite you to breathe now. Just take a time, like you're here. So happy to be with you. Just align with who you are right now. Feel yourself, like put your feet on the ground, put your body straight, and breathe and connect with the fact that I am on the other side of the world. I see a lot of people are from Switzerland. I'm on the other side of the world, and yet we are so connected. And that has been always there. For some reason, and thanks to the virus, for some reasons, many only realize that now. But that is all the time, you guys, all the time. It doesn't matter. It's how you emanate this love, emanate who you are, emanate your joy of life. And yes, a lot of people will criticize, will have an opinion. But you know what? These people right now are suffering. And even more so than anybody else, because they're not plugged into love. So our practice is to remain plugged into love. And World INLIGHT Partners, this beautiful love army that I have the joy and the honor to lead around the world, is about that, is to give you tools, techniques, concrete things of what to do to remain centered, to remain strong, and so that you can become a leader. Not just Stephanie, not just the top leaders, coaches out there. You are a leader as well. Maybe you're a leader just in your family. You have kids and you're a mom at home, but that's a strong leader. Don't underestimate your role, your responsibility in what is happening. This is the time of awakening. This is the time of every one of us can play. So I would like to have questions. If I can answer some of your questions, guys. I have some notes here, but really I'd like to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge? If you can just write, one sentence, that would be great, so I don't have to read the whole thing. What is your biggest challenge right now? Staying grounded in this time of absolute shift. That's a big shift right now we're going through, in case you had not noticed. That's a big shift, but it's a new rebirth. It's beautiful. So I want to say, before, I'm going to keep an eye on your questions, guys. If you have questions, please, I'm happy to answer, give you some tips. The first one is, I need you to plug back into love by trusting. And the trusting is about trusting you've been equipped for this. So don't panic. There's no need to panic. You've been equipped. Your experiences, your life journey, your way of behaving in the world, and everything your wisdom, everything you've learned is all coming together now, and you are the glue to keep all of these pieces together. So what you need to do now is just to stay in that calmness and to plug back into all of this experience, wisdom, knowledge, and now live it out. You live it out from here, not just knowing love and consciousness and stuff. We all have the theory, but this is the call for all of us to be in motion, in action. And we all have the choice, you guys. We have the choice to participate in this and to be a part of it, an active part of it. And it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. Maybe you are a secretary somewhere. Maybe you run a restaurant. Maybe you're a taxi driver. Maybe you are an accountant. Maybe you are somebody cleaning houses. Whatever you do, whoever you are. And notice, I haven't spoken about the coach going around the world speaking on stages. This is my gift. This is my joy. This is my alignment. But who are you? And I see you guys coming on board. Thank you for joining. Awesome. Welcome. And do ask your questions. I'm keeping an eye on what's going on. And I'm so sorry that Natasha could not join us. That hasn't been able to plug her in. So, promise we'll do that again, and we'll investigate how we can plug in and have her join. So let's come back to you guys. Your choice to participate, to be actively a leader in whatever group, whatever environment you are. Actively, your own being, your joy, your love, your life. And this is how you become a light for the world. And the stronger your light, the stronger your alignment, and the bigger your reach, the more people you can help. But imagine if you're weak. Imagine if you're scared. Who are you to give a hand out there to help people who are suffering right now? So if you're on this call, guys, this is not for the masses. You're on this call because, one, you've known me for a long time. You've been following here and there. You know I've been cruising the world. I see a lot of people from Switzerland, and I'm so happy. And I know you guys have been all along with me. And I know a lot of people think, oh yeah, she's going around the world. She's on holidays, right? It's easy. Oh yeah, she's always traveling. No, guys, this was the preparation for this. What's happening right now? And I'm so happy you're plugging in. And if you are, it's because you've been curious and maybe you didn't know how to get involved. Maybe you didn't know where to start. Well, where to start today, guys? It's very simple. You can start by plugging in with the World INLIGHT partners and join us on the Facebook page. And if you are a leader, if you have some thoughts, some techniques, some love you want to share, just let me know. Send me a private note and tell me how you want to contribute. We need all of the lights possible out there. And together, we're coming together. World INLIGHT partners. This is it, guys. This is us partnering. We're all around the world. We're in light. We're in love. We know we want to contribute to this world. We know we want to be creating a new world together. But we didn't know how to do it before. Thanks to the virus, we're all coming together. So this is absolutely brilliant. And the beautiful thing, guys, we have the choice. Each one of us have the choice. We open to this evolution and this transformation, or we close and we just decide, no, I don't want to move. I want things the way they were before. This is going to be a lot of suffering, you guys, if that's your case. And I really, really invite you to reach out to, you can even do it to me. Do it to me, like do it to me on private. If I can help you, I will. If I can't, I will refer you to somebody who can. But if you choose to stay there and just wait in your home, being afraid of everything, listening to the media, listening to the TV, listening to everything that is going out there, and being panicked, feeling in your body, your whole energy level is dropping, feeling that you're losing the sense of hope, feeling there's like, holy shit, this is going nuts. Everything like that is lowering your vibration, guys. And if you can really be aware of that, then it's going to be easy, just like that, for each one of you to plug back in, come back, look outside and not judge it, just be with it. Be with it. It's like any illness. You know, some of my clients in the past, I've had, you know, some serious physical issues. It could have been such as cancer as well, which I also experienced myself. And I want to say, you know, you guys, to the degree you can expand and open and breathe in that situation, that condition, whatever is happening, and not judge it, but be in and remain who you are, remain that light, remain that love, then nothing can put you down. Nothing will take you down at all. So I see some questions. What if someone grows up not knowing what love is? How does someone start to learn what the real meaning of love is? What a great question. How to start to learn that is simply by plugging into that love that is in you. And the absolute simplest technique that I can recommend to everybody is to breathe. And the breath is love. The breath is life. So if we plug in with that, we're already starting with the essence. And if we start every morning with that, just that joy of feeling alive, that's love right there. And now, of course, we are comparing love with loving somebody else or loving something. But that's not the type of love I'm talking about here. The type of love I'm talking about is your alignment, your presence, your juiciness, your life, your joy, your being. And I want to read the next one. You may be right about all these beautiful things that you are saying. With all of that, you need to get to know Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is your only hope of salvation. So thank you for sharing. And I appreciate that this is your journey. So here's something that I've learned, because I was raised Catholic, going to church every single Sunday. And here's what I've learned about love. The moment we decide that our God is better than the other, we're out of love. So with respect to anyone here, whatever you're saying, believing, or praying to, I am not asking you to change, because that is your faith. That is what gives you hope. That is that force, that connection with the divine. And the divine, if you call it Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, or Manfred, or Patrick, I don't care. What matters really is who you are and how you behave in this world. Because it's easy to go and pray something, but the bottom line, during the week, who are we? At every single moment. And this is what the God, when I say God, the universe, what this divine creation right now that is happening, and this actually collapsing, we need to come back to our senses. We absolutely need to come back to our senses. And love does not judge. So if you want to love one particular God versus the other one, Don't tell me which one is good for me. And I'm not going to tell you what's good for you, because I love you, I respect you, and I will respect how you are honoring that. Where I will call you on your shit, excuse my French, is how you behave. Because the lies, the manipulations, the control, the stealing, I can go on. We all know who we are during the day. And I want to invite you all to see who you are behind the curtains. Not just like what we put out there on the social medias, right? Look at me, look at my new this, my new that, la la la. Let's stop this bullshit, you guys. Like this is done. This is the new generation. So we're all together now, brought by love, to love, in love, with love. Everything is about love. And yes, a lot of people will continue to start me like I'm this crazy woman. I love to be crazy. And my crazy bubble has allowed me to be so strong now to take on the lead of so many people who are struggling in the world and support them. Who are you? How can you support you? Start there. I've been training for this. This is what World INLIGHT Partners has been doing for years. The whole love army, and you can be part of it. Please, if you feel like, oh my God, I get it now. And I'm not judging people that for not getting it before, because I can tell you, I have a whole list. I've been plugging to a lot of people around the world. Hey, wake up. There's something else other than your business, your money, your fame. But I'm not judging. Who would I be? Like, what would love do? Love would never judge. So I want to invite you to come from that place and let everybody to have their faith. Don't go around trying to manipulate people and try to get them into your tribe, your club, your religion. That's not love. I'm sorry, this is not love. What is love right now is showing up and giving tools and practice and techniques to people, referring some products that are going to be elevating our vibration, elevating the vibration of our earth, and support them in building a business or revamping a business. Many of us will have a business that's going to be going upside down, belly up, right? So who are we in the middle of that? Who are we? How do we live love in that? How do we breathe it in? Are we just there to just yap love? That's done. Guys, that's done. That's the old paradigm. That's the before the virus. That's why I say so much I love this virus. It's because it has awakened us. It really is. So I'm reading another quote, another comment here. Love is of God. So there we go. For God so loved, true love comes from God Almighty, the one who creates. So I don't know you, a lit in the dark. That's an interesting name that you have, by the way. But I want to thank you, and I will not continue this conversation because, again, love is beyond a religion. So I'm not going to continue on this topic. And I think that everybody, you've gotten the sense. Love is your truth and is you in your alignment and is you replugging to the divine that has created, given you some serious, amazing, beautiful gifts and talents. And most of us have been arrogant with these gifts and talents. We have been arrogant because we have not been using them. We've been scared to use them. You know, maybe we're afraid of the judgment of others. Maybe we are afraid to not be good enough, to simply. For those of you who were here on the very beginning of this call, guys, you've seen my absolute struggle in getting the Facebook Live, because I never do that. I've never done a live. So how do I get somebody? I was actually not even able to invite Natasha. For some reason, she was supposed to be with me here on this call today. I'm just trusting the process. I've been meditating all morning to see what is it that I'm here to share right now. Beyond the ego, beyond everything. How can I serve you guys? So do continue to ask your questions. And Natasha was saying it's a great time to reset and go within. And truly, right? Maybe we had an intention, her and I, to serve you together. But hey, it's beyond that. Right now, it's our time, all of us, to reset. And maybe we just had to reset the intention and fine tune. We'll be next together on the next live, and it's all going to be good. So I want to read your questions, guys. If you have questions, what is your struggle? What is keeping you, preventing you to tap into that absolute line, absolute divine being that you are? What is it you're struggling with? Is it your current relationship? You know, often when we are in a relationship, in a couple relationship, it affects a lot of who we are, because most of the time we want to try to be somebody to be loved, right? So when we are alone, we don't have that struggle. We're just moving on. That is one element that is important to look at. If you have some troubles with your relationship, if you feel that your partner is preventing or restricting or not supportive of who you are. So those are the things you can look at. By the way, World in Light Partners, the page, we're going to offer ongoingly some tips and techniques to maintain good health in the relationship, but good health in our business, good health in many other ways. So stay plugged in. If you are not joined on the page yet, do make sure that you come and meet us there. So I want to continue with a couple of thoughts, because I had a few thoughts this morning right after my meditation, and I wrote them down. The importance right now is to remain truthful to who you are. A lot of people out there are going to try to impose their views, such as the person who was trying to, you need to meet Jesus Christ, la la la. I'm not judging you, but this is not my reality. We need to all think and remain really strong. We need to be strong in who we are, in our truth. So we're plugging again with, let's take the time. We have the time now to have a reset, and to reset and check in. What are my gifts? My true gifts. Why am I born? And what do I really, 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 really love to do? So if I give you an example, and I'll come to you, King. I see I have a question about past fear of judgment and rejection. This is an important one. Actually, it's linking to what I want to share with you. I love to be on stage. I've been on stage since I'm 6 years old. I'm a communicator. I love to inspire people. I love people in their essence. And I always, every time I go, everybody, all of you, you know me. If you've met me alive, like I just want to uplift. I want you to shine. That's my gift. That's my calling. So I was able to create a job, a mission that is allowing me to do just that in the world. Going around the world, it's not so much that I chose that. I just followed the guidance, right? My calling. If I could do it from home and don't have to work to be, traveling all over the world, I would probably prefer that. Anyway, I'm here, I'm serving, I'm happy. But here's the thing. If I had followed all of the criticism and be afraid of rejection and criticism, right, King, that's your question. How do you handle the judgment of others? And how do you handle the criticism and the rejection? You handle it with love. You keep loving them and focused on your purpose. That if you remember one thing from this call, from this moment together, just remember that. Who cares about what other people think? I have really, I have been affected, absolutely. That has been my journey to come to this place. But I understood so much better. And if I had allowed this criticism, this rejection, these judgments, and from people that are really close to me, like I'm talking my own family, brothers and sisters, and my friends, my deep friends, the people that I had in my youth. That was my test, you guys. And I know they love me, and I so love them. But here's the thing, that was a test. Sometimes God has a way to test us, right? Are you still going to go around and do what you're doing? Are you still believing that you're here to build the love army? Because I've been called many things, right? Oh yeah, she's like, I know that's my calling. Who cares what other people say? So your gift to you, your handling rejection, handling the criticism, who cares? Keep loving them. Those who criticize, remember, like, You know, forgive them for they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. They don't even know who I am. They're so afraid of me. They don't even engage with me. So who are they to judge me? I will keep loving them, but I will keep serving my purpose. And that's my invitation to you guys. This is your gift to the world. And I'm keeping an eye on your comments if you have some... yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you all coming and saying hello. Do ask your questions, guys. Like, I'm here. I took this time. I don't even keep an eye on the clock. I could stay here all day. I could just do this all day. This is my joy. So I want you to be inspired by that. Okay, so I have Natasha that says love and acceptance of self is huge. Absolutely. Yeah, last night, guys, this was so interesting. Last night, a friend of mine, we were chatting and I said, I am so in love. So, oh, you found a new man. I'm like, no, I'm single, but I'm so in love. So, oh, well, but, you know, and he could not get it. I am so in love. I've been alone here in this apartment in Calgary. I haven't seen a soul for a couple of weeks. I just go and see people out there for when I go doing my groceries, but I am alone all the time. I'm never alone. There's me and love. Oh, and there's some love there too, and there's some love there too. Oh, and in the bathroom there's some love too, and there's, like, I mean, love is everywhere. It's crowded in my apartment, but I only let love in. And this is one good practice as well for those of you. You know, I share some videos regularly on my YouTube, but if you plug in to the World INLIGHT Partners Facebook page, you will see those videos. I try to do them regularly, give you some tips. This was one of them, is to never feel alone. It's just protect. But when in my apartment, when I say there's lots of love here, I worked for that. I put some boundaries, some protections around my apartment, even my building where I live, my whole street. This is a place of love, and only love comes in and only love goes out. Every single word that I will speak will be out of love. That's my commitment. Everything that comes to me will be love, or it will be cut off. There is no gray zone anymore. I don't have time for that. And I want to encourage you to live like this, because that's going to be one of the pieces that is helping you with your being aligned, being strong, being in love. That's going to be one of the main keys. Protect yourself. So I put some white light around my cell phone, around my computer, and those who are coming to attack them say, thank you very much, I love you, and goodbye. So you need to cut some relationships as well. And yeah, sometimes it's hard because it's close friends. Sometimes it's a lover. You need to end a relationship. And sometimes it's your brothers, sisters, like your close family. It is hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's necessary. This is very important. So that is so inspiring about the boundaries of love. Yeah, and they are boundaries of love, truly. It's not about rejection. It's not about ejecting people or judging them. It is a very different energy if we do it that way, right? So this is very something, that's great. By the way, that's Gori. Gori, thank you so much for bringing that up. It is done with love. If it's done with the even slight intention of rejection or judgment, they're not good enough, they don't understand me, la la la, that's not the right energy. And the boundary will not be whole and will not be divine and strong. So you are actually, you're definitely all, when it's coming from that place of love and no judgment, everything is happening beautifully. I also want to make a link to what I'm living right now, building this love army around the world. World INLIGHT Partners. Again, guys, do connect with the page. This is everything will go there, and you will have tons of practices, techniques. Some of our leaders are just really so happy to share some techniques and tips and everything to support you guys. So, oh, and I have Martin from, I guess it's Switzerland, right? Martin, you're in Switzerland. Nous sommes avec toi. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I've seen many people from Switzerland joining and, you know, popping by. Doesn't matter. I mean, I could stay again. I could stay here all day. Probably you won't. But maybe, hey, what if it was that life, you know, just giving, and when the time is right that one person has to have that message, they will find you. This is something I live so beautifully with my big mission right now, is that those that have been touched and know what I've been building all of these years about this love army, planting seeds of love around the world, they come back now. It's like, hey, whoa, shit, you know, stuff is happening around the world. How can we help? And that is beautiful. So Natasha says, when head and heart are in alignment, we are being led by our soul. So true. Head and heart. So that means, you know, the heart and the head are often in conflict, right? And that's when ego comes in, right? Ego wants to keep us in our little box, in our little cage, and does not want us to evolve. The ego is afraid of what could be out there and doesn't have a concept of how beautiful and brilliant is this. And I want to say that despite what's going on out there, I want you to be so full of hope. I'm inviting you to be so full of hope and light with what's coming next. It is still going to be dark and quite intense for a little while. I want to be realistic. I'm not here to just pop you some like dust of love and just anything. But it's so beautiful because we have a chance to rebirth. We have a chance to start a new life, start a new world together in love. So now the alignment of heart and head that Natasha was talking about, the head wants to prevent. So an example, my heart is about serving you and doing a Facebook Live. The head would be, yeah, but you don't know how to do a Facebook Live. You look ridiculous. You don't even know how to invite your partner, your host, your co-host. And you look ridiculous. You can't do this. So if I had listened to the head, my alignment of heart would have been collapsing. Because for those of you who were at the beginning here, we started the live call. I was on my computer and I was not able to see if I was on. It was like a nightmare. And then I could not bring my co-host, Natasha, with me. Then I changed to the phone, which now I'm on my phone. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I still cannot bring Natasha. She's still with us. And I thank you very much. I want you to know that the head will always try to derail you. And so that's where your commitment to your light, to your love, and to your center, and your alignment with who you are, using those gifts, using those talents, and offering that to the world, then the head has no chance. And I'm going to make a parallel with what's going on out there in the world. This is important to understand as well. It's going to help you stay strong. It's like a dimmer. You know, if you have a dimmer of a light, so you have the 0 to 10, and 0, the light is off, right? And 10, the light is like, woohoo, it's bright. It's like you, right? You want to be bright. You want to be a 10. So I take this analogy. Anyone who is 5 or below is at great danger and at risk. There are dark forces out there. There are, and I call them the DF. So the DF is there. And they're just waiting right now for the weakest sign that you can show and then take you down. So the more you elevate, you dim up. You know, your role is to dim up your love, your light. And the more you do, the more you're strong, the more you're protected. And so number 8, 9, and 10, those are the leaders. Obviously, the 10 is like, you better listen, you better follow, you better be in that energy and learn what did they do to get to that 10, because that's where you want to be. Anywhere below 10, you are in slight risk, right? It's like this bubble and there's a hole. Well, if you have one hole, you're at 90%, there's one hole, that's okay, but sometimes it's still coming in, right? The darkness, the negativity, the anger, the resentment, and everything that is not positive and love. If you are at 100%, this bubble is hermetic. It's like it's closed and nothing penetrates that bubble. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. That's our commitment. This is our responsibility, you guys. And to raise that vibration, so let's say you are at a 6 right now. Do everything you can to become a 7, to raise your vibration to a 7. Then you are at a 7, guess what? You attract a lot of people who are now at 7, 8, and you'd come like, oh, I want to go higher. But we know we don't want to go back down again. right? So you have the responsibility to do what it takes to dim up your light. And then from that place, you can help others. Guys, if you are a 6, you can help all of those who are 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those that are at 0, guys, they're dead. Don't waste your time there. They already have a foot in the grave. I'm serious. We're not here to save the world. For many people, it's going to be too late. I'm speaking love because love is truth. I'm not going to paint everything is la la land. I'm here to give you hope. Hope is that you're here. You're listening to this and you get the message, you get the call, and most importantly, you have a whole platform that's going to show you how. Because I'm not here to just tell you, you should do this. You should, be in your strength, in your alignment, la la la. No. World INLIGHT partners, we have a whole team of really amazing leaders that will take you there, that will show you how to do it. We will absolutely show you. And that's going to be your invitation to go 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then you become a leader. We're all leaders, remember. Even if you have just a family and you're a mom at home, and that's all you do all day because you have small kids, it doesn't matter. You have an important influence in those 2, 3 kids, 1 child, it doesn't matter. You are a strong influencer. So I wanted to invite you to see that place in you that is the leader, that place in you that has the light, and then crank it up. Do what it takes to raise your vibration, to be strong physically, emotionally, spiritually. This is going to always be your call, and your duty, your responsibility. Then next is like, how can I reach out to others? But if your light is at 0, even 1 or 2, you don't have enough juice, guys, to go and try to help others. Don't fool yourself. It's all going to be fake. It's all going to be blah, blah. So first, and very important, crank up your light. This is your time right now to do that. This is the time where we can actually be in our joy, in our love, and stop being distracted with everything that is going on in the world. This is our call. And I love it because I have some people from Switzerland, I suppose, or at least in the French part, they say, I don't understand all of it because of the language, but the principle and I'd like to listen to you, Stephanie. And then there's another guy said, I don't understand anything, but guys, I love you, and I know you get the juice, and you're here for a reason. If you're on this call right now, you don't understand everything, it's all good. It's all about love. This is the way we're connected deeply. And this is because deep down in you, you feel there's something you want to contribute to this world. This is your calling. Join World INLIGHT partners. Show up. Do the training to raise your dimmer and to crank it up and go to that 6, to that 7, to that 8, and then become the 9 and 10, being a leader. Join us to give the light and the hope to others. This is beautiful. So I want to encourage you. I don't know what time it is, but I'm having fun with you guys. Oops, I'm back, and I suppose I kind of lost you for a few minutes. Okay, so I missed, and I don't know if I scroll down. I can scroll down. Okay, so Troy is saying your thoughts, feelings, and actions affect the lives of others. So true, guys. Everything. This is why a lot of people, like when they are around me and around all of the people that I'm hanging out, they feel that vibration. We start with one person and there's another one, another one, another one. Troy, you have that same energy around you. And this is why you're also having people just being attracted to you. This is how we gather together in love and how we find each other. It's all about energy, right? I see that Sampath is joining us from Sri Lanka. So it's awesome. Nice to see you. It's all about love. It's all about energy. And then we have Emily. I think, Emily, if I remember, you're in France right now. We have from the UK, John. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Guys, it's not so much about knowledge anymore right now. It's really about who we are. That knowledge has been something that has created some shifts. But if we only stick to the knowledge, that's only I call it the mental masturbation. That's what I call it, because we have the knowledge, it's here, but we don't do anything with it. So to move from that place of knowing, but now living it, transcending and raising that vibration, being on that path of reaching the dimmer and being like, okay, I'm a 6, I'm going to be a 7. Having that commitment. So now with the knowledge, we're fueling our energy, we're fueling our body, we're fueling everything. And then from that place, we emanate that. So it's not so much about transmitting anymore from here. I'm using this now, but I'm operating, I conditioned myself this morning to emanate and to reach your soul on a much higher level. Everything around World INLIGHT Partners, it's reaching another dimension. This call here, and I feel it, it's amazing. I so love to see all of you joining. You guys are connected on a much higher dimension to what's happening. If you've plugged into this call, you know you're one of us. You know you have some light. You know you have some tools, some practices, some techniques that you have mastered, and now you can share with others. Not tell them, show them how. This is our mission. So by cranking up your light, your choice then and your invitation is to be part of this big evolution, this big exciting moment of creating a new world, you guys. Creating a new world, a world based on love, compassion, and embracing the planet, and not just do business for sake of our bank accounts and our ego and our land, but now to include the success of the planet as well. Be gentle again. Like now it's so great that, when I go out on my walks, I see that people are out there, and I start to see there's a water there. Oh, there is a tree there. Oh, there's flowers. They were not seeing that anymore. That's the reality. Some of you know that. Maybe some of you have been caught into that robotic mode and, just getting up, working, eating, sleeping, getting up, working, eating, sleeping. You get the point, right? Maybe you were there, and that's okay. Guys, that's okay, right? The main thing in love is to not judge, right? No, don't judge it. Laugh about it, right? So I continue to see if somebody has maybe some questions. So I have some hellos, I have some bravo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, it's your juice. You're fueling me. So I kind of feel like, I could go on. I could stay here all day with you. And I don't care if there's one person listening. I don't care if there's 100 listening. I don't care if there's thousands or millions. It's all divinely orchestrated. It's all divinely orchestrated. And I want to thank you. Again, it's divinely orchestrated that you're here. There's lots of people on Facebook. Why did you get that one? Oh, she's live. I'm going to plug in. Why? Why? Maybe we haven't been in touch for a long time. Actually, some of you, I've seen some names. I had not heard from you for a long time. Why are you here, do you think? Why are you here? So I'm inviting you again. I'm keeping an eye on the comments if you have any questions. And if not, I'll probably go. I'm just checking again my notes from my meditation this morning. It was so great. I had so many things. Yes, I already said it, but I want to maybe just recap this to end on such a brilliant, beautiful note, beautiful invitation to all of you. If you're here, if you've been here, it's because there's a calling in you. And maybe in the type of job you've been, maybe in the type of family setup you've been, maybe in the country you live, maybe in the area of that country you live, it's not conducive for you to be that leader. But deep down, there's this thing that is calling you to just make a difference. It's like you just want to go and shake the world to wake people up. And maybe you never really had the courage to do so. You were maybe afraid that people would judge you and reject you. Yes, they will judge you. And guess what? They're judging you anyway. that you're doing it or not, they're judging you. So guess what? You might as well be true. You might as well be aligned with your calling. And if that's what's going on in your heart, in your soul, in your guts, then do it. Join the World in Light Partners. We need more leaders to go out there. This is your chance to be part of a whole army that is here to recreate a whole new world, a whole new dimension of love, of finances, of relationships, a whole new dimension of health, a new dimension of everything. So maybe that's why you've never taken the lead, afraid of the judgment, afraid of the rejection. Well, the rejection, you know, I much prefer to be rejected because I'm staying true to my light versus being part of the little tribe that keeps me stuck in their box. So think of that, right? It's like, what's important to you? And truly, what is important to the divine, to the creator? That one force that created you with those gifts and talents, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you live from that place? For those of you who are here from Switzerland or France or Belgium that are in the French language, I want to do a live in French. That's what I want to do. And possibly I'm actually going to do it maybe right after this one. I feel it's important that all of us now understand our mission. And I'm so happy, every single one of you that has come here, you stayed for 2 minutes, for 15 minutes, or for the whole time. I don't even know what time it is. I really don't care. I'm just really happy to be with you. Oh, it's almost 1 hour that we've been together. Okay, so here's my promise. Every single minute of this living time, my commitment is to strengthen my light, to do the work for myself, to be absolutely in love and in light, and give that strength to the leaders of World in Light Partners so that they can inspire with their gifts. So if you are a coach, a speaker, a therapist, a healer, a musician, an artist, do reach out to me, because there is lots of room for tons of different arts and ways to raise the vibration of this earth. So through your gift, you sing, maybe you're someone who loves to create clothes, yeah? You love to design clothes. Maybe you love to paint. Maybe you're an amazing accountant and there's this deeper calling and you just know there's something else. Well, that doesn't mean you need to drop accounting, but there's that place of you that can be alive and now serve a lot of people. So this is your call, and I will do it in French. I think the French, I see more people coming. I saw a lot of people from Switzerland, and I'll be so happy to have a live in French. So do plug in with World in Light Partners, the page. Plug in. There's going to be lots of ongoing videos, ongoing techniques, practices to support you. And I want to invite you to breathe and let in what you've taken, if it was in a minute, in 5 minutes, or in the whole hour. Take it in. Take it in, feel it, and decide, am I going to be a victim in this war, or am I going to be a warrior of love? And if the warrior of love resonates with you, reach out, send me a quick note on private message, reach out, or on the page of World in Light Partners, but do join this beautiful love army. It's an incredible, amazing time. Our time together to create this new world. So I thank you so much. For those of you who are just joining now, I will close this live and we'll start in a little bit with a French one. I'm going to do it en français. Ah oui, je vais faire en français. Alors, vous pouvez rester connectés et on va recommencer en français dans un petit moment. Voilà, I really love you all. Thank you. Be the light. Crank up the volume of yours and inspire. Love you. And Natasha, who stayed with us in silence behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Natasha. She's saying, I love you all. And I know you've been supporting in a different way. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.